back in something like 2019, mid to late 2019 or early 2020, I can't remember, but We Knives released a collaboration by the name of the Blackout, which I have right here. And this started my love affair with the custom maker, Miguel Barbudo. Now, Miguel Barbudo came onto my radar because of this absolutely crazy, beautiful knife. This was one of my first kind of more expensive knives that I purchased when I was kind of going down the path of collecting. And it was also one of the first knives that truly felt like it was designed for my hands. Obviously, I have double extra large hands. I mention it in every video. And this thing truly fits me like it was sculpted and made for me. And this knife, while completely and totally appealing to me, was not terribly well received at the time. There were a couple of interesting decisions and features that, in my opinion, we kind of dropped the ball on. And even in talking with Miguel Barbudo this year at Blade Show, not SHOT Show, he kind of intimated that he agrees that some things should have been different. With the Blackoao, I was introduced for the first time to a new type of locking mechanism called the window lock, which we can see right here. It's a backlock mechanism that has this window that as the blade opens, you see the notch right here? It snaps in there and it actually locks the blade open quite robustly. And then to disengage, you press the backlock and the blade comes in. There's a similar notch on the tang in here and it snaps right in. Why this wasn't terribly well received by a lot of the people was because it was put on bearings when it should have been put on bushings. Now, I could go into all of it, but suffice to say, the main issue was that the thing runs so smooth like a guillotine that if you're not careful, you could catch your fingers in a situation like that. Now, with my personal one, I'm going to switch it over to some bushings from Skiff, but that didn't deter me from loving and appreciating everything that Miguel Barbudo does. As I mentioned earlier, I had the absolute pleasure of meeting him at Blade Show this year, 2023, and he was such an amazing dude. I have had some interactions with him on Instagram before this, and he remembered me, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, from a guy with his status, you know, with his sort of place in the industry, for him to remember a pleb like me, I was truly, truly shocked. And in interacting with him, I was able to purchase my first custom knife ever. Generally, when we start going down the path of collecting knives, you know, we see custom knives and we think, especially in the beginning, oh my God, I would never spend that much on a knife. Oh my God, a Chris Reeves is $500. Maybe I'll own one of those one day, but probably not. But to spend, you know, $600, $700, $800, you know, $1,000, $3,000, you know, is completely implausible. I'll never do it. I'll never do it. And then you find some custom makers that you really love, that whose work just captures you and represents everything that you know and love about knife making. And all of that begins to go out of the window. Let me tell you, And Miguel Barbudo is such a guy. He is such a craftsman, and he is so true, fundamentally true to his Spanish roots, that he offers something so fundamentally unique and interesting within the knife making world. You will not see his patterns or his designs replicated or even be remotely close to anything that's out there or has existed before. And that brings me back again to the custom that I picked up. Now, I need to read the name off of the certificate of authenticity here, but the model that I got is called the Malagueña de Lecuona. Please, Miguel, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Malagueña de Lecuona. I'm sure you guys are dying to see it, but this is the custom that I got. It is tie bolstered, and those are Arizona ironwood handle scales on it. It features a similar window lock to the Blacao, but a little bit different. And what really makes this knife unique is the sound. Now, if you guys know anything about the history of Spanish knife making, the Navaja was one of their most famous fighting knife designs. And they had this very unique sort of ratcheting lock system, and they made a ratchet sound whenever they opened. So you could hear it from like a mile away if somebody was opening them. And this has that very same sound. Listen to this. I'm going to bring this close to the mic here. Yes. So here it is, fully open, a very unique, crazy shape, done in M390, beautiful blackened details, nice swedge, and amazingly comfortable ergos. I mean, really, really comfortable in the hand. This thing just, for me, melts into my grip, just like the Blacao, and has just this crazy useful blade design that, again, nice tall, primary bevel. It's hollow ground all the way through. And check this out. With this locking mechanism, you can grip the knife and just swing it down, just like that. It has a thumb stud here for deployment, and you get that beautiful ratcheting sound. Such a cool, unique design. Love this. There is few sounds out there in the knife world, and that is one of the better ones, honestly. So this is the Malagueña de Lecuona, which is a very unique pattern to Miguel Barbudo, and is one of my favorite, and just, quite frankly, a unique knife design. And what I really appreciate about it is in this grip, right? The blade center continues all the way through, or the blade tip goes all the way through the handle, all the way through your grip. So it's very easy to locate, very easy to understand where you're going to place this knife. It doesn't need a finger choil for choking up. You're already so close to the blade right from the get-go. And the choil is nice and kind of like pulled back a little bit here. So you really are going to be getting right into the material and right into the usability of the knife right away. And it's really just, for me, a uniquely done, completely unique approach to a knife design. And almost like the original Navajas, it has this narrow body and this kink like cut down towards the back of the spine here. And it has just this appearance. This appearance is just straight up Navaja. But that sound, that feeling in the hand, this is a knife meant for work. And I hate to tell you this, Miguel, this thing sits in my safe. I love this thing so much that I want to be able to enjoy it for forever. It's never even cut anything so far. This is a true safe queen for me at this stage in my life. But it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, and I love it. And every time I pull it out, I just appreciate it that much more. One of the things that I would like to do for this, because it doesn't have a pocket clip, if you notice, which I have no problem with. I would like to get like a little bit of a leather like clip slip so that I could carry it in theory at some point in time. You know, just keep it in the pocket, pull it out, and, you know, oof, that sound. And then, you know, maybe, whatchamacallit, use it for steak one night. But until then, I definitely am not going to toss this in my pocket with keys. This thing is one of the most special knives that I own. And the reason for me why it is so special is because it's my first custom that I've ever purchased. I purchased it from an amazing knife maker who I have immense respect for. And it will forever hold its value to me because it is something so unique, so special, and it will represent my relationship with Miguel Barbudo. So, Miguel, if you're watching this, I love you, brother. I appreciate you. You are an amazing, amazing maker. And I hope to get a custom Blackout for you one of these days, man. This is, oof, man, to own one of those customs would be amazing. But now, funny story, you know, and I'll end the video with this. There was a gentleman there who was really interested in almost clearing out all of Miguel's table and buying everything that he had at the show. And lucky for me, he held back. He just happened to hold back. And that allowed me to purchase this knife. And if by any random chance, sir, I didn't catch your name, but if you are watching this, thank you, because your restraint allowed me to get one of my grails. So thank you for that. And that's what the knife world is all about, guys, for me, at the very least. It's about making connections, artistry, and relationships.